Apparently, it's a 3 and a 2 and a 1 and a ho.
What?
Doo-doo.
It's,
Doo-doo.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's the latest episode of the Zatsu edition of the ARPG podcast, where we pretty much talk about stuff that isn't related to the two things we talk about usually. I'm Guru. That's Chewy. How are y'all doing today?
Well, I'm feeling mighty fine.
And that's good, and I'm feeling mighty fine myself. Even though I question humanity as we speak every day, and I'm starting to lose my fucking mind. Why can't we fucking just fucking destroy everything and whatnot?
Whoa there, fella.
I know, I went a little nuts. Anyway,
Sounds like you want to get isekai.
the Zatsu this week is this episode's probably going to be a little shorter because I do have a dentist appointment I need to prepare for. But today I wanted to talk
like
about
2:45 area.
Yeah, but I also like it's going to be a little shorter, so it's probably going to be about an hour, like the last one, maybe 45 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So for me, I wanted to talk about a couple things. I wanted to talk about the manga I'm reading, since I don't normally get a chance to do that.
I hit my teeth with my cup. Ow.
Ow. So out of the continuous manga I'm reading 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 manga. Right?
Nice.
And I want to go through them all. So I'm going to start with the one that's on top of my list, and that's Tokyo Revengers.
Oh.
I definitely have not been impressed with it as of late. I generally feel that the series should have ended after the first main arc. Like, I think continuing it under this idea of Takamichi saving Mikey was a stupid decision, and it was only done to force a continuation.
Okay.
Because why would Takamichi, like, here's the thing, the whole idea was that Mikey believed he had to protect everyone, even though there was no reason to protect anyone anymore, right? Like, the main villain was dead.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, the cause of everything was gone.
Okay, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he's just like, no, I had to keep being this gangster person who's ruining the lives of everyone because it's my job to protect them. And it just feels incredibly forced.
Okay.
And they try to play it off as then Mikey's just like, I need this darkness, which is the reason why he brought in that dipshit. You know, the main villain from the first arc.
The glasses guy.
Oh god, what's his name again? It's been a while. Okay.
I don't remember either, don't worry. But I know what you're talking about. It's the glasses guy, right?
Yeah, it's the glasses guy. Just give me a second. I'm on the wiki right now.
Oh, goodness.
It was, but anyway, it was him that was like.
Oh, you can't find it either, okay?
Teta Kisaki.
There we go.
Yeah, and it was him who, like, fucking Mikey knows he's an evil piece of shit. He's like, I need you to bring in the dark. I need the darkness.
Darkness.
And it's just.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to take the series seriously when they're just ignoring a perfect chance to end, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've always been critical about series staying too long, right?
Yeah.
Like, we talked about Kingdom last night, how I felt there's a chance with Lu Buwei being gone that maybe the show will lose a little bit of that oomph. I had the same feeling with Black Clover, right?
Okay, yeah.
Black Clover apparently killed all the devils.
Yeah, and then you're like, ooh.
And then it's like, okay, well, how are you going to continue without the devils, right? Since the devils were literally the cause of everything. And then they just revealed that the Wizard King has been a devil this entire time. Right? So, like, it's kind of this weird thing. And now, all of a sudden, they're like...
good plot twist.
Yeah, and it was. But now, all of a sudden, they're like, oh, yeah, you know that older brother that was killed by Baji and them? So, remember the arc that...
Yes. No, I remember. The one about the, they were like, oh, let's get Mikey a present. And then they, like, saw a scooter that he talked about, and they try to get it for the person to steal it. But the person kind of caught them, so they accidentally hit them.
And it turns out it was his brother that
turns
they
out
killed.
it was his brother, yeah.
They revealed at the end of the latest chapter, oh, his brother was a time traveler.
What?
Yep.
Just like the main character?
At the end of the last chapter, during the fight between Mikey and Takemichi, it ends with Mikey saying, and I quote, that, let me get it right here.
Takemichi's not the only time traveler? Damn.
Yeah. He was trying to save me. He went back in time to save me. Sanashiro Ichiro, Takemichi, Mikey's brother, is a time leaper.
And then he died?
Well, I mean, he died in that one thing, right? So, like, his head was caved in, remember?
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I've enjoyed it. It's not bad. I just felt like you had a perfect ending, and you just kind of wasted it.
Huh. Interesting. Weird, but...
And another one I'm reading is actually one that I just picked up on. It's 67 chapters in? Yeah. Blue Box.
Blue Box?
Yep.
Blue
Box. Yes, Blue Box.
Okay.
What?
What is it about?
It is a romance manga that is very interesting. It's not throwing the romance down your face, right? It's building it up slowly. So we have these two characters. One is a basketball superstar for the girls' team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the boy is an up-and-coming badminton player, right?
Oh, I think I know which.
The boy develops a crush on the girl. And then it's revealed that with Taki's family, the girl, that, Chinatsu's family leaving to Japan to go work abroad, Chinatsu is staying at Taki's house.
I know this one.
Right, so Chinatsu's staying at Taki's house because it turns out the parents are friends.
Yes.
So Taki, his goal, as the synopsis says, is to slowly develop a relationship as they both strive to make nationals in their respective teams. And I love this whole manga because it really, really develops them well.
Because they worked well with what they're, currently have going on.
It's more that
keeping the idea, the straight focus of like, hey, they were athletes as well. So it's like,
well, it's that the romance is building in a way that's nice and slow and fits the pace.
Like,
because the focus for both of them is their sport. Well, no, like it's actually building. It's not this quick flick your wrist type thing.
Yeah, like actual romance.
And it's building very nicely because like the focus for both of them is their national championships, right?
Yes.
And yet, as they work together, their friendship builds and builds and builds. And we have something in chapter 67 that, well, it reveals that even Shinatsu's realizing that she's starting to develop feelings for Taki. She said it. She explains it. It's like a growing flower, and like it's growing and growing. And I like that because it's what I want from this series so badly.
Easy.
And it's just really well written, and kind of like Oshi no Ko, which has an anime coming out next year, right? It's something I want to see animated really fucking badly.
Yeah.
Like Oshi no Ko's coming out next year. So that's going to be great.
Yeah.
But no, that's just one of them I've been reading. And then I've been reading something like Seraph the End, which has jumped the fucking shark.
It's really different now.
Well, essentially, they've just like, oh yeah, you, who has been a family and friends man the whole entire time, is abandoning his family and friends to save
Really?
Mika. And they're doing the whole, like, I'm going to do bad things to save everyone, it seems. And it generally pisses me off because that is just, it's such awful writing.
It's me, your mother.
Well, no, it's going to set up that, like, I told you so, everyone, right?
I see. Well, I mean,
Like, it's generally a frustrating writing place.
okay.
And honestly, it kind of backed itself into a corner. Same with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh.
Like, I like it, but I also look at Jujutsu Kaisen and say to myself, man, this is so much better in anime.
Yeah.
Like, it's so much better.
I see.
Like essentially, now that they've started this whole, like, death fight arc, it's fight after fight after fight. And while the art is good, the art is great, it's so hard to follow when we got 15 different fights with 15 different characters.
Yeah.
Add on to the fact that, again, an anime like this, probably better in the end. Like, a series like this is definitely better in the anime. Because you can animate the fights.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where you start to realize the flaw of Jujutsu Kaisen. There's too many characters.
Oh.
Like, I don't know half the fucking characters that have been introduced the past couple shows. What are you laughing at?
No, I'm just remembering about a bunch of shows when you say a bunch of characters. I don't remember half the characters. I'm thinking Kingdom. I'm thinking One Piece. I'm thinking
Kingdom. I can at least remember most of them.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Like, I can be like, okay, I remember that general from this part. I remember this general from that part, right? But, like, with Jujutsu, and that's because Kingdom, it actually makes their characters really good, right?
Stand out.
Yeah. Like, fucking, the 3 dragons that they introduced in the latest arc in the anime, right?
Do you actually remember them all?
Well, there was the Guan Yu looking motherfucker.
Okay.
There was Liu Hong, the guy who Jin killed at the end, and then there was the incest boy. Do I remember their names? No, but I remembered them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know their name.
But, like, my point with Jujutsu Kaisen is I don't even know these characters, right?
I guess there's some worth to saying, hey, you kind of know what the character is. But at the same time, I feel like if you know the character, you would know their name.
Sure, but also, you say the opposite names all the fucking time, so it's hard for me to keep track.
Yeah, because that's how I remember them as.
Yeah, but like Liam Po, Lu Mu, Lu Bu Wei, the fucking Chu General, like all the, like, those are memorable characters to me who I can latch on to.
Do you remember the 4th pillar that's the law dude?
The 4th, the what? Yeah?
One of the 4 pillars who's the law user?
You're talking about Lu Bu Wei?
No. I'm not talking about Rufui. I'm talking about one of his 4 pillars, the guy who specializes in law.
I'm asking Lu Bu Wei's group.
Yes, originally at least. Do you remember the name of the guy who did the law? Or specialized in law?
I think it was Lee Si.
I think it was, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Rishi or in Japanese at least.
Yeah, Rishi in Japanese.
I don't even remember him, man. I barely remember his name. Ugh.
But no, like that's just a big problem with Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so disjointed because of how they're telling the story.
Ah.
And it doesn't mean I ain't excited for the anime, because the anime is fucking incredible.
Mm.
And it's really weird because
I get that. There's sometimes just some things that just aren't fully represented. Well, not represented. Adapted well.
Well, it's kind of like how I think Mother's Rosario of Sword Art Online is one of their best things. But it's not a great read.
Okay.
Like, there's just something that animation can do to some series.
Okay.
Right. And, but, of course, I've already mentioned Black Clover. It had its big twist after the end of the Devil arc that the Wizard King has been a devil this entire time. Which, I mean, it's a great twist. I was mentioning before how I was curious how this series would continue because the King of the Devils got killed, and they just revealed that, oh, you know, the person that everybody was inspiring to be
is the devil himself, the big
has
devil.
been one of the main devils this entire time. And they introduce him by having him possess the nun that Asta had a crush on, and turn her to her side, and then just send Asta to the Shadow Realm.
And Asta to the Shadow Realm.
And then there's Spy X Family, which is awesome. I genuinely think Spy X Family is one of the best things out there. I can't wait for part 2 this fall.
Oh yeah.
But then we get to My Hero Academia.
Oh.
I don't understand, Chewie.
Okay.
The author can write amazing stories, and he has shown that. I think the stories of Shigaraki, All for One, and especially the Endeavor story in this final arc has been incredible.
Okay.
Like, to see the Endeavor story hit its conclusion with Dobby and this other son fighting, whose name, oh my god, so hard to remember names, man.
Dobby and Endeavor?
No, it's not Bakugo. Oh god. Oh god, what was his name? Yeah,
Todoroki?
Yeah, sorry.
No worries. I was kind of confused what you're talking about. Yeah.
To have them fight, like, it's great, and I genuinely like it. The story about how, like, the struggle between Shigaraki and All for One is great, right? Because Shigaraki's slowly breaking to the point where he's just becoming nothing but a mindless killer. I fucking despise everything, and I mean everything, to do with how they are handling Bakugo. So if you don't know,
I probably
a couple
don't.
chapters ago,
yeah,
Bakugo was killed.
Oh.
Like, straight up, him and Shigaraki fought. Shigaraki took a damage, but Bakugo, his heart was literally impaled. Right?
Wow.
So, of course, you're thinking they're going to find a way to bring him back, most likely, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Like, it's always the thought in your back of the head, right? Like, they just can't kill off a character like that, right? But no, they seemingly did. He was dead. He had no pulse.
Oh.
And in the next chapter, they pull the most... They essentially say that Edgeshot, a hero who we've seen a couple times, don't know his personality, barely know his quirk, can turn himself into microfiber.
Okay.
And essentially become the parts of Bakugo's heart that was destroyed.
Okay.
Right? So essentially, his quirk is fold a body. It allows him to stretch out his body, making it thin and spindly. After years of devoted training, he can now make his body even thinner, as thin as a spider's web. Right?
Oh. All right.
So he is essentially stretching out his body as thin as a surgical suture. And with the help of Blue Genius, they are literally stitching up his heart to get it working again.
Wow.
This is like one of the most bullshit fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Kind of insane.
And like, here's the thing. In my opinion, they could have done a story where they revived Totoro, where they revived Bakugo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just throw it an edge shot.
Throw it at a shot.
Throw out edge shot. Have it all be because Blue Genius. Because Blue Genius, it has been with Bakugo from the very beginning.
Okay.
Remember, he was the person that went to Bakugo and took him under his wing when they did the hero course arc, where they all joined different organizations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Bakugo and Blue Genius have had a connection this whole entire time. So I think you could tell a logical story where Blue Genius has this power to be able to save him, and he wants to save him because there's that connection. When you throw an edge shot as the main reason, it makes no fucking sense.
Okay.
Because we don't know anything about edge shot.
Okay. Okay.
That's my issue. Like, we barely knew his quirk. We barely knew the character, and now all of a sudden he's playing a vital role, and he's best friends with Genius. It's frustrating, and what makes My Hero so frustrating right now is you see the good, you see the great, and then you have this shit. Like, it's generally one of the more frustrating reads right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because that one, it's like, it's got this shiny garden, this beautiful garden, and then you just take a shit right in the middle of it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the current manga I'm reading. If I have to say, the best are probably Spy X Family, Blue Box, and Black Clover.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Alrighty. Now, do you have anything on your mind? Is there anything in particular you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, not. I was thinking about certain manga stuff now that you're talking about itself there.
Well, is there anything worthwhile? Do you want to bring up something? Or shall we just move on to a next topic?
My God, I've been reading a lot of manga too, actually. I think about
that's normal. You tend to read a lot.
I read a ton, and I don't know. I feel like I have a niche, or not a niche. I have a genre. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Like I seem to be reading a lot of
I'm gonna take a guess. Historical wars.
No.
Damn.
I'm reading a lot of reincarnation.
Oh, so you're the isekai fanboy.
Well, not just isekai, time slip as well, actually.
So, okay. You're that self-insert viewer.
I'm not reading only just reincarnation ones where, like, oh, it's like a completely new world isekai type of thing. I'm reading time slip ones, whether it be going to the past or going into the future and reincarnating. So to say, the standard isekai is like,
I know what you're talking about, Chewy. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so there's like regular isekai, Well, just in case, I want to explain to the viewers, okay, whoever they are, they probably, I don't know, they might not understand. Basically, regular isekai is like, from one world, oh, they die or whatever, transport or something, and then they get thrown into another world altogether, whatever it may be, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever. There are definitely some that I'm reading in that sort of category, because like there's a guy who gets reincarnated as the super smart, or not super smart, the hyper AI of
time out for a second. You're mentioning reincarnations. Are you going to be watching the Reincarnated as a washing machine anime?
You mean the vending machine?
Yeah, the vending machine one.
Yeah, probably.
Good. Okay, continue.
I might hate it all my life, but so yeah, I'm reading stuff like that hits the regular isekai type of trope where, guy gets or whatever gets transported to another world after, I don't know, death or something or an accident. And one of them is like one that's a pretty decent one so far is he gets reincarnated as an AI for a star cruiser or something, a battle cruiser. Which is so far has been very interesting. Not a lot of chapters of that one, but I'm also reading ones that have like time slips in general, which is where either the guy it's modern world setting or it's a different world setting, and the person starts off at the very end parts of his life, and then he dies or something, or she dies, or or something happens, and they slip back into when very beginning type of thing, when they were much younger, before anything, whatever, these big events happen and stuff, and they have all this information and things like that, and then they have a goal in mind. Sometimes it's revenge, sometimes it's like I just want to do better, because like there could have been much better doing things, and some it's just like I want to change overall. One of them I like to note for sure that's been really so far pretty decent is Volcanic Age. Again, I feel bad because I'm not really reading these legally, so I feel kind of bad for saying something.
Look, do not get me wrong. We just don't have a choice sometimes.
It's sometimes, but yeah, one of them is Volcanic Age, where originally there's this man, I think from the Plum Blossom sect or something, and he lives his life is very standard. He's not great. He's not whatever. He doesn't excel at anything. He's just there on his deathbed. He he has a few disciples and stuff or whatever, followers just seem goodbye, and he regrets like everything because he in his day and age, like he was the age and like lived around the same time as like martial arts legends and stuff like that, and there were people that were legends from his sect, like the Plum Blossom sect and stuff like that. And he regrets like living the way he did. He wished he was able to be somebody and help in ways, and maybe stand with those types of people and live the martial arts life type of thing. And then he gets reincarnated back to he was like just started off, I think, as an apprentice to the sect itself, and then he just kind of goes off at that point, because there's this also an overlying story of how these legends became legends, is that they fought this like mysterious. This is a trope that I've noticed so far as well with like Murim, or like the martial art Korean world type of stories, is that there's usually a really, really big bad that's secretly like got all the strings and stuff, they're in the shadows and they're preparing and stuff like that. They don't want to reveal who they are, so they have like a whole bunch of faces, or they control a whole bunch of people. Well, not control, but like they kind of pull the strings and stuff like that without people really knowing. And the one for Volcanic Age was this, I forget what it's called. I think it was the the Shadow Demon Sect or something, or the Demon Sect? Demon? Oh no, Blood Demon Sect or something like that. And then they had this, like, their leader. In the end of the climax of it all was this, like, incredible, like, super, super powerful martial arts artist. And it was revealed, like, it was revealed after, like, the all these legends, the people that fought against him, whether they were from the righteous whatever Murim Alliance people, or they were the unorthodox, like, kind of bandit type of groups area, or straight up the people that just, like, didn't work well with either groups or anything like that. The legends that went against them were able to, I think, was able to stop them, but, like, it took all their worth, their abilities to stop them, and, like, I think all of them pretty much died. And it was revealed at that point, like, the leader of the Shadow Demon Sect, like, was from the get-go, the very beginning of, like, the waves of, like, the changes and the wars and stuff like that throughout history, was all because of him, and all because they wanted power. Like, it was built around him, basically, in his sect. And, like, nobody freaking knew until the very end when they had, like, killed him. So now with all this information, MC goes back in time. Not only does he want to stand up as a legend, as a martial arts legend, and walk the path of martial artists, he also sees that the only way to really stand out as a legend is to be just like them, in a sense, and combat against the Blood Demon Sect. But because he's got all this information from beforehand, he has a head start. He's calculating his way to, like, trying to counter every single move that they do to make this guy powerful, because this guy killed so many people even before they got to the legends part and stuff. He killed so many incredible martial artists and everything, and sects and like bunches of groups of people, like cities, and, like, just the government in general as well. And yeah, that entire manhwa is just about him trying his best to do that. And that, my god, I don't know why I've been falling in love with those types of stories for some stupid reason. The ones where they just, like, they have a lot of work to do, but they go back and they need to start, like, getting to it type of thing. I don't know why, but I like the martial arts type of stuff there too.
Well, I mean, we all have our kink, right?
There's actually another one with an isekai. I like the abnormal isekais as well. The ones that is not come from a modern age, but, like, it's like there's one that there's a bunch actually where the MC is actually, like, one of the top martial artists in the, like, the Murim realm or whatever, and then he dies, and then he gets reincarnated into a fantasy medieval setting where he's like a peasant, or he's a son of a noble, low-ranking noble or high-ranking noble, and nobody knows about martial arts, and, you know, the whole, like, qigong or whatever that is, inner body energy type of thing. It's like magic and stuff like that, and swords in medieval warfare, European medieval warfare, I should say. And then there's, like, ones where like, yeah, there's just so many variations of it. I've been really liking the time slip ones. Was another one where one guy actually slips into the future after he dies, and he becomes his rival's, like, great grandson, and he's absolutely like, ugh, I can't believe this. he's part of his family and stuff like that. Oh, that one's really good. I've also been liking again, another type of another type of guilty pleasures is I like sports mangas with somewhat of a twist. one, sometimes like they have like the whole development system type of thing. There's a lot of, I've read a lot of mangas and with like the whole modern day, but like with this whatever level up system type of thing, game mechanic system ones, I feel as well. Just kind of weird to look at. One I've been reading is about a pitcher who has never, who had to give up baseball, I think, because he injured himself, and he's even before injury and after injury, he couldn't break past the threshold of a fastball. I think it was like he couldn't go like past 130 or something like that. Is it 130? I could be wrong. It could be too fast at that point. But basically, he couldn't get his fastball to a certain level, which is like, it's necessary in order for you to be a decent pitcher in, like, you know, division whatever, minor league division, or like AAA, AA, whatever, you know what, that type of thing. So he ends up kind of giving up on that and does whatever work to get by. And then this autograph baseball that he got when he was much younger from one of the like biggest pitchers back in the MLB or something, who happens to be like, I think he was either Korean or something, or Japanese. Maybe not. Oh, no, never mind. I don't think he was. I think he was just an MLB pitcher. Just, you know, one of those random fake guys that ever created for the story itself. He bumps into the whatever baseball, and I think he summons the ghost of him, and it activates a weird system where he sees like a little window board and stuff, and I think it's called like the coaching system or something like that. So with the help of this ghost, famous pitcher, like really super famous MLB pitcher, Spirit, this guy is basically starting off from his restarting his career as a baseball pitcher in general, and he gets rewards for doing good things and stuff like that. So then he spins his wheel and he gets random upgrades, which is just video game mechanics type of thing.
Huh. So
far it's been pretty decent, because everything that it gets upgraded is always like pitching stuff. He doesn't seem they haven't gone to this, you know, the whole, I'm wondering if, I don't think they're gonna try to, but I hope they don't do it like a two-way type of player type of thing going on. Seems pretty interesting so far as where it is, but yeah, that one's not too bad either. I read a lot of freaking reincarnated stuff. I don't know. There's just so many. There's so many stuff. I don't know. But yeah, time slip and reincarnation ones, they're my jam so far.
Yeah, like I was mentioning, we all have our kinks, right?
Oh,
I've mentioned before that you know, I call them the Kaguya-sama type shows, right?
yes, the romance one. Yeah.
Those are starting to really like tickle my fancy.
Oh, I read, actually I think it finished, but I read a memoir about a guy who, I don't know what happened, but he traveled back in time into the Joseon medieval age type of thing in Korea, and became the prince. That one actually ended, and the ending is so weird. The prince travels back to the future once more after whatever, I don't know what happened, but he's not the only one that travels to the future after doing all the things he's done in the past. The king, the guy he considered his brother for so long, also goes back with him. And
what?
Yeah.
That is.
The man was like the final 5 chapters is like him Like, I don't know what happened, but I think he becomes he changes history by becoming king, and like his brother, okay, so the story originally, his brother is known as actually in actual Korean history, he's known as one of the worst kings in existence. Like, he was mad. He was in history, he was written down as like a mad tyrant, basically, because he killed a whole bunch of officials for whatever random reason. He didn't like justify that. There was like a whole bunch of like stuff about war that he didn't work very well on. And then there was this one big piece of history was there was a huge rebellion, a coup against him with all these like big figureheads and stuff like that. And they were able to usurp him and then execute him via coup. But in this history, the guy goes back in time as the younger prince to this king, the brother, younger brother to him, and he finds out the king is just really kind of edgelord. Like,
what's with you and edgelords?
Well, he's not really, I don't know about edgelords, but he's like, he seems to be having a really hard time to express himself, and he has anger issues, but he's not like a bad person. He just has anger issues and is like always treated indifferently by his officials and stuff like that. So the prince actually does a whole bunch of stuff where he just like either creates new technologies or creates like cuisine and culture stuff and things like that help actually the king himself relax and sort of open up a bit. He also helps him with his marriage. He like keeps his younger brother from dying from, I think, smallpox or something like that, and then like that betters the king altogether, that he's able to like justify every single act that he goes through. Like the punishment of the officials was because of I think there was like corruption, and then like how they were trying to force the king to do certain things and stuff like that, so that the king was able to justify his reasons for punishing them in public and everything, even though he was still kind of like angry. He was like a control type of anger, almost, in a sense. It was interesting. And then in the very end, the king like decides at the point he wants to abdicate and actually give the throne to the MC in the end, because he understands, like, you know, all these ideas, all this bits of wisdom that he's had is because of his younger brother. And the younger brother, you know, takes the throne, and that's where the story sort of ends in a sense. But it continues on for several chapters where the MC goes back to the future and is like, what the heck? You're like, did everything just happen or did it not happen? He goes through the history books and finds out he changed history. That the king, the mad king of whatever old Korean history,
king is no longer mad.
He was not actually a mad king at all. He was actually one of the wisest kings, and he abdicated to give to his younger brother, who he said was even wiser than him in this case. Like, it was so interesting. And he's just like, oh, okay, well, what do I do now? And he bumps into the king. And the king is like screaming and stuff, like because I believe he's at the historical site for the king palace and stuff. Is like, and he's yelling at the people that are front because they're dressed up as like the historical guards and everything like that for like tourists and stuff. And he's like, you know, just what in the world? It's like, you know, why aren't you lowering your head and stuff like that? I'm part of the royal family. And the guy just, the MC's like crying, just like hugs him and stuff, and he's like, what's going on? The king is absolutely not unsure what's going on. And then, you know, he gets caught up. Oh, he's in the future. Okay, that's why the MC had like all these ideas and stuff and bits of like future type of thinking. And turns out, in order to survive, the king to survive, he basically becomes a actor who specializes in historic films and TV show filmings. So it becomes like a fairly known actor as a result. Well, not really well known, but he becomes an actor to do that stuff. And the MC submits the story for his story like he makes a script out of his story of him traveling to the past, going to the whatever, doing all that stuff, and about the Mad King, and the Mad King auditions to be himself, and he passes. Audition to play himself in this film. And the MC's like, hey, like life's gonna be a little bit different type of thing, whatever. The end chapter, I think, is them talking about how they were looking for the female actress to work for the prince's wife, and the MC starts thinking about his wife that he had in the past when he was the prince. And guess who walks through the door with one of the hiring directors? It's the wife, and turns out she time slipped as well. And yeah, it ends with them kind of hugging each other, and it was really cute. That was about it. That one, honestly, is probably one of the best mangas I've read that actually completed. It was really well done. I still think, of course, Soul Leveling is really up there, but no,
I think we should move on now. My mind is leaking, Chewy.
Okay, moving on.
Music, more specifically Hololine music, because with Marine releasing I'm Your Treasure Box, I was kind of interested in looking at like MVs in general, but also just like, holy fucking shit, Marine's MV has exploded. So to give you an example, right? Marine's MV released on July 30th, right? It's at 8.8 million views.
Oh.
The only MV released in Hololive that beat it was Gura and Kali's King cover.
Oh, nice.
And like, I just kind of want to go over MVs in general, because like, I find it so interesting that we see Marine's video fucking explode, right?
Wasn't also a song on the radio?
Yeah. Here's another funny part. Apparently, Marine's song, I'm Your Treasure Box, has been appearing on the official radio stations in Japan.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay.
She moans, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah, no, she seductively moans. But, like, I wanted to talk about this because, like, a lot of people are releasing songs, right? Noelle released her third original song, which is the most different she's ever had in ours. Choco released an original song.
I can't even watch this.
What?
That is a lot of bikini show.
Oh, it's great. It's literally one of the... It's such an amazing MV.
That is a lot going on, though.
So incredibly horny. I also love the chorus and the dance. Like, it's such a... Like, I'm not saying this song does not deserve to hit 8.8 million views. None of that, right? But what I'm saying is, like, it is like a combination of just, like, the MV is incredible. The dance is amazing. I love the dance in the chorus, right? And the song itself is just super catchy. But, like, again, it has exploded to 8.8 million views. As an example, like I said, the only song to ever have more was King by Gura, and the cover for Gura and Ina. Not Gura and Ina, Gura and Kali, right?
Gura Kali, yeah.
To give you an example, the only other songs that came close was Gura and Kali's Q and Laplus's Goddish cover.
Yeah.
Other than that, nothing has come close. And, like, I just find that interesting because Choco, she just released a banger new OG called No Distance. It's very good, and it is showcasing that. Roboco released another OG song called A Little Bit.
Okay.
Right? Those don't even come close.
Not even close.
Like, combined, they're about 180,000 views. If you add Noel's, they don't even hit 300,000. So, like, I'm kind of interested in how, like, some songs explode compared to others, right? What? What's so funny?
Sorry. I saw some stuff.
Like, we look at Okayu. Okayu's released her first album, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she stated that she wants to do an MV for every single song in that album.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Yeah. So, like, in terms of songs, she's released, I think, 5 of them? Let's see, 1, 2, 3,
5 of them.
4. And they all don't even come close to it. Like, again, I'm Your Treasure Box is one of the most spectacular things I have ever seen. And it showed, because this could legit hit 10 million views in less than 2 months.
Okay.
Right? Like, it's already at 8.8. And, like, it just, I don't know. It's something I just want to talk about because I find it fascinating. And again, this takes nothing away from anyone else. I think the songs that have been releasing over these past 2 months have been nothing short but of incredible. Like, I'm so hyped for when Toa can release the song she sang at the end of her birthday concert, Raime.
Oh, yeah. Raime, yeah.
I am so hyped for that. Since that song, that beginning is a fucking banger. And it's why I love Toa so much, because she's one of them that really goes into the rock and roll genre.
Mm.
And like that guitar riff at the start just tickles my jimmies.
Tickles your jimmies.
Right? Hey, you laugh, but like that's the best way I could explain it.
Just say vibe.
But like, I don't know, man. It's insane to me that Marine's MV has exploded like this. Because even considering Marine as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, you look at her previous MVs, right?
Yes.
Unison, which everybody considers to be a fantastic MV, right?
Yes.
I'm Your Treasure Box already beat it.
Dang.
Like, Ahoy has 16 million views.
Ahoy. Ahoy. Mm-hmm.
There's a chance I'm Your Treasure Box could catch up to that.
I'm Your Treasure Box.
And then there is her original MV for the song she debuted at Fez.
Okay, yeah.
And she dropped that 4 months ago.
Yeah.
It's only got 4 million views.
Interesting.
So, like, it's just... I'm kind of curious as to what caused I'm Your Treasure Box to explode like it did.
Sorry, a little bit of a cough, Esther.
Right? So,
Yeah.
like, I don't think there's anything she did different than everybody else does.
Okay.
Like, she released an MV for it. She performed it at her birthday anniversary concert.
Mm-hmm.
So, not anniversary. I think that was her... Oh, no, it was her anniversary concert, yeah. So she debuted at her anniversary concert. Like, she did everything that everybody else does. And then all of a sudden, 8 million views.
8 million views, baby.
It kind of makes me curious as to, like, it has to be literally Marine's just power. Right?
Just the ability of Marine essential.
Well, it's not even like everybody else is that far behind. Like Lammy, she dropped a cover called a new song called Fleur for during her anniversary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's up to 300,000 views.
Right.
And it's great.
He's great indeed.
And we saw Botan drop a song called I Love You. It's exploded too, right? It's up to 227,000 views. It's great. But it's just, I find it very interesting that Marines exploded like it did. Also, Botan's new outfit, oh my fucking god.
The semi-casual one or the casual one?
Yeah, the semi-casual with the ruffled hair.
It was completely casual, actually.
Oh, I just love it. Yeah. But no, like, I was generally asking, and maybe, like, we could think about it a bit. What has allowed Marines MV to explode like it did?
I'm gonna throw in the reason why Psy also went off. Like Gangnam Style. I'm gonna throw in the same reason why that became such a
but Gangnam Style exploded because it was more memed than anything.
Well, maybe that's part of it. I don't
feel this is being memed.
I don't know. I don't know when you say meme, do you mean like
everybody jumped around the meme of it, like, whoa, it's the popular thing, let's do it. Do it. Because let's be real, Gangnam Style sucked.
Really?
I think the song is like, it's a catchy beat, right?
I think no, but like what initially even got people to look at it though, Marcel?
God, it's so hard to remember, man. That's 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was because I think it was a combination of the beat itself, the song, the dance, and also the music video. Like the actual music video was pretty ridiculous.
That shit insane. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I think like a little bit, maybe not 100% the reason why Marines MV did so well is honestly it's tied in with that too. It's almost the it factor in a sense there.
But you say like the ridiculousness of the it factor. Every Marine has had it.
I don't. So did side stuff has been really always been weird.
Yeah, but the thing is, you look at Psy's stuff, right? Pretty much after Gangnam Style was released, everything just started to decrease a bit.
Yeah, so again, why was it only just that one? I feel like it's similar reasons as to it. Not saying.
But what I'm saying is
main...
Marines MVs have all been similar style, right? Psychedelic with a little bit of insanity. Like Unison is a fucking trip to watch.
I mean, all of Psy's stuff has been really weird. Like even before Gangnam Style and after Gangnam Style, it's always been ridiculous. What I'm saying,
like, I'm Your Treasure Box is nothing different than what Marine does.
Yes, so wasn't the other stuff. So wasn't Gangnam Style as well. Gangnam Style wasn't that much different.
What had like, if we're saying it's the weird and quirkiness, right?
I don't know. It's just weird and quirkiness. Yeah, sure, maybe it factor as well on top of that. But again, you just put a somewhat decent beat, a somewhat already kind of known but not really well known type of person in the music world or in the entertainment world, and you could get like some sort of combination basically to get out there type of thing. It doesn't always happen. It's just like what is it? How should I say?
It's like I said, the interesting part to me is more just
you could put in the work, right? You put in the work and everything, but not everything is going to be, noticed type of thing. So in this case, I think the combination just worked. Honestly, it just so happened to have that tiny bit of luck.
It generally feels like it caught fire.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was paying attention to the concert. Marine debuts not only this song, but that fucking fantastic outfit, right?
Hmm.
So it feels like it just caught fire, but it's just like, I'm kind of curious how we can catch fire elsewhere. Because we all acknowledge, like, Sora as, like, A plus tier level god, right?
When you mean like performance wise,
Performance-wise, like,
or
she's
just
probably the
idol
best.
wise?
It's her or Suisse as, like, the best in terms of, like, being able to perform.
Ah, yeah.
Like, if you
No.
ask me, I'd probably put Suisse number 1 and Sora number 2 in terms of, like, total performance from singing to choreography and whatnot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because she has a lot of experience. Yeah,
And everybody acknowledges her too.
I mean, they kind of have to. I feel a little bit.
I'm talking fans, not people.
Fans. Well, I feel like fans kind of gotta acknowledge,
To an extent, yes, but everybody respects her.
Yeah,
And she's been pumping out content for years and years and years. And it fascinates me that A, she only just hit 1 million subscribers. But B, her view count on her music videos don't even hit 100,000 most of the time.
Yeah,
it takes a lot for that to build up.
I don't know. Maybe it's because,
like, she dropped a music video for her called Happy Meowth Day. Not even at 100K.
Is it possible that I don't want to say this, but it's like, is it possible that there's a lot of people in her sort of performing genre, like type of area?
No, because there are a lot of people that are similar, right? And that hasn't stopped others from exploding. I just find it very, very interesting how some songs explode, some songs don't. Who would have thought, like I mentioned it before, who would have thought that Laplace first cover, right, would have exploded like it did? Right? Yes, debut covers are going to get a little more views, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But like I mentioned, this song hit views that only Callie and Gura could achieve, right? In the span of a month.
Would it be possible that it...
yes, there is, again, like I said, there is a debut boost, right? It's this new person, we want to get to know them.
Yes.
But Laplace hit levels that, like, were insane to think about.
Well... I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't know if we should. Or not we should. Sorry. It might be a little bit unfair to compare that completely to Sora because of the fact that Laplace is in a much newer generation.
No, it's 100% fair. 110% fair. Because it's just a song release. These are stuff that come all the time.
Yeah, but...
and we have to look at Laplace's Goddish cover as something different because it is something different. Because take a look at Louis. Louis dropped a cover within her first day too, right?
Yeah.
And if I remember, I'm going to pull it up right here.
The numbers probably didn't...
oh, the number's drastic. So she dropped a cover of I, right? Only about 2.5 million. That's great. That's respectable, right? Nothing compared to 16 million. Like, Laplace has hit 16 million views on her Goddish cover. If I remember, Marines Ahoy just hit 16 million. And it's 2.5 years old.
Oh, yeah. Is it possible it's just, the... Just being like a new generation, the fact that
No, because again,
Hololive is built up so far that like
because again, we're looking at we have Louis right here, 2.5 million views.
Okay.
That right there showcases that Laplus's thing was actually insane.
I don't know, maybe algorithm.
I mean, algorithm helps obviously, but like again, she's a brand new person. People are going to learn her, right?
Was that
all of a sudden?
Sorry.
Yeah, it was just a cover. Was it original song? Like say,
how popular was that cover?
What? It's Godish. It's one of the more covered songs. I think Shion has done it. Actually, no. I think Shion was the only person who did Godish at that time. Then maybe Aqua and when did Aqua and Kanadas come out? When did it come out? Aquas and Kanadas came out after. So I believe the only cover of Godish at that time was Shion's.
Like
Godish is a really good song too. I just think, and then we look at Chloe, who drops her original song a couple months after. By the way, her original song is 35 seconds long.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I was just like, that's insane, and it's good. 2.5 million views. Like, just, I genuinely think the Laplace Godish cover is one of the most insane view stories ever. Because you have to take into factors. Yes, it's a new person. But as we've just showcased, new doesn't already mean you're going to jump off views rise, right? It'll give you a boost. But would it push you to the level of, like, again, Callie and Gura's Q? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's safe to say it won't. Because Callie and Gura's Q was just, holy shit. That was hype.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I love seeing it, right? I really do, because I love seeing the girls pop off. Like Mel. Mel has been releasing original songs, before COVID hit her. Monthly for the past couple months, right? And they are doing great. She's released a cover that's good. She released a couple OGs that are great. And, like, I love seeing it, right? Shion will always be fascinating to me. It doesn't matter how long she takes off from streaming. She can release a song and it'll get 500k views in a month.
Sorry, it hit a bike.
Like, that's kind of what fascinates me. And then there's IMA. IMA is ridiculous. So, like, I'll always point out, IMA hit 1 million subscribers, right?
Yeah.
When she was on a month break due to her internet.
Yeah.
In large part because she released 2 songs. Her King cover and her Goodbye Senzawa cover.
Mm.
And those exploded.
Mm.
And, like, I just find it kind of amusing how, like, there are some out there who can just release music and it'll get tens of millions of views. But then you got others who are, like, trying to push for the views. Like, you see a Yofi tweeting out her original song every other day, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just find it kind of interesting to see situations like that, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's just unexplainable. Remember, it's
definitely unexplainable. I find what I was trying to get around is I find the situation itself very interesting, and I love seeing it.
Maybe Marcel, we should release a music video and just die. I mean, not die. I mean,
well, I mean, if you want to die, I won't stop you.
Die on this hill with this music video.
Anyway, that'll be it for the Zatsu, since I do have to get ready for a dentist appointment.
Well, I hope you don't get hit by Take your Isekai Ink. Yeah.
Tomorrow, of course, is going to be a big day. We mentioned in the Let's Play. Well, I thought I'd give an idea of what's coming tomorrow, since tomorrow is a pretty big day, right?
Splatoon 3?
Splatoon 3 releases. I'm going to be picking that up at 10. HoloCure releases its update, which introduces 9 new characters, a bunch of outfits, a bunch of new items.
I got an Isekai myself.
Hololive Indonesia is most likely going to be announcing their 3D debuts.
You're gonna have a mighty fun surprise outside.
Alliope looks like she's dropping something special. It looks like maybe album art.
I'm gonna send you to a really bad or boring place.
And then, of course, there's Rene having her 3D Poly birthday earlier tomorrow.
It's gonna be really boring.
Anyway, so this is the latest Zatsu. We hope you enjoyed. And I guess we'll see you next time.
At least it's peaceful.
Okay, so we can end on you screaming like that, but we can't end on me saying deuces.
I'm not ending it there. Just step outside, Marcel.
We'll see you next time, everyone. Have a great day.
No, seriously, step outside.